Good evening, guys. It is I, Poltrax, the Nerd, and today the plan was to show some Game Boy games, specifically some GBA and 3DS. Sorry, DS and 3DS. There you go. So not that many of them, so I kind of want to put them in one because I don't want to make two, and no one's gonna care if I make two, so I'm just not gonna try to be practical. So yeah. So let's start with the DS games, and then we'll take the 3DS to finish it off, I think, right? Yeah, from the top. This might also just sort of time it when I actually played it, because when I actually bought the 3DS and played it, this was quite a while ago. So take it for what you will. One for this Pokemon Platinum version. 4th gen, sort of like a obviously maybe people got more memories of Diamond and Pearl, but obviously this is pretty much the same game, just sort of a the typical sort of third entry. You know, your crystals, your emeralds and such. But yeah, all shiny and stuff. It looks really nice. And just as a side note here, like going from GBA to DS and forwards, like plastic cases, so much better. The cardboard thing, yeah, never again, please. But yeah, this is complete. Game, manual, that kind of shit. Yeah. I'm not crazy about the attires of the main characters though. I actually kind of prefer it for the old one. But hey, that's me. Yeah. Next one is probably the best one of this whole DS generation, I'd say. Technically, it's obviously it's not, but you know what I mean. Heart Gold, obviously remake of Pokemon Gold. Also complete. Like I played this on Game Boy Color, like when it came out. So that's how old I am. So this is just it's a very well beloved remake. From what I hear, like a lot of people like it because it's sort of like it's just like a solid sort of generation. Story, tons of content. It looks better than it ever has. Like yeah, just getting that you liked, but better and more. So came with the Poke Walker too. I think what that was called, sort of like a souped up tip counter. But yeah, unlike the online stuff, though, I'm not sure if this. I think this is closed down by now. So. We'll move over to something else, I think. So maybe it's a problem. We'll see. Next one is boom, Animal Crossing Wild World. I'm sure every one of y'all are playing the Switch game or bought the Switch game. Maybe that's what was your first entry. I bought this like forever ago. Honestly, it was I think I bought it actually in the UK. I think maybe when I was on vacation there, perhaps. Actually, pretty solid game, I think. Like, obviously, the Switch game is probably a lot better. I think this is like the how was it like? Is it the GameCube version on a handheld, something like that? I think, which instead was like an N64 game, very similar to that, but it's very sort of a special type of game. Like, the fact that this almost became sort of mainstream now with the Switch port is pretty wild to me. No pun intended. But yeah, it's kind of fun. It seems like pretty chill game. But yeah, so obviously this is the European rating thing, you know, the PEGI. Now the next one is a bit of a doozy, people. That being Spectrobes. This is this is Pokemon almost, but also not really. It is very similar though. Like you have your guy there and his monster companion, and he fights other monsters and stuff. But this is actually more 3D-ish, or at least 3D characters on a 2D space, I think, or 2.5D, whatever the fuck you want to call that stuff. And yeah, it's very similar. You sort of fight, you sort of dig up sort of fossils, or you sort of have to break them out by using the stylus. And then you sort of have to breathe life into it by using the mic, which is kind of funny. And then you sort of raise them and grow them. by feeding them so minerals and whatever, and they will evolve. But where it differs from Pokemon is that the combat system actually kind of real time. It's not turn based. You sort of like you swing your sword and then you have like your two sort of partners at the same time, and you kind of just make them attack with your shoulder buttons, I think. So that's kind of cool. Though I hear from like there is a Wii version of this as well. Like this was a sort of a Nintendo exclusive or whatever, which just does look a lot better. But yeah, solid entry. Sci-fi Pokemon. Oh, hey, that's what the cartridge was. Yeah, very odd, but actually it's a lot of fun. This was bought locally too, though, as it has the Nordic country quick starts, not just Europe, and even though this is gonna be more of a quick sort of thing, because yeah, Duke Nukem, critical mass, like it's nothing special. It's a Duke Nukem game, sort of shooter, pew 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 and such. Not the best, but yeah, complete again. Full color manual. You don't see those anymore. So, but yeah, it's still in good shape. It's not all wrecked up and cracked and GameStop level shit. So that's that. Next one is Naruto Ninja Council. I do like this Naruto. This is sort of the OG era, right? This is not Shippuden, or sure as hell isn't Boruto. Sort of beat 'em up type of thing. There's like multiple versions of this thing. I think this is a lot less, not manual, full colored cartridge, and good shape, no cracks or nothing. Yeah, I do like Naruto though, but sorry. This was a bit of a no-brainer. I almost want to do have some nostalgia for like the original series. Naruto, Sakura, Sasuke, Kakashi, Rock Lee, Neji, Temari, Gaara, Kankuro, and Shikamaru, and that not a pedo, Orochimaru. Yeah. Now, a game that series that I am not as familiar with, being the Dragon Quest series. Set in north of the starry sky. I mean, it's a turn-based role-playing game. In typical order. I didn't play that much of, to be honest with you. I think I got stuck at some point and I just never finished it. But yeah, like, I mean, create a character, that was pretty something for Dragon Quest, but I don't think they actually did any more of, looking back at it. Yeah, you bought it in Europe, so it's gonna have like 3 billion languages in it, so that's why it's this thick. But yeah. And Club Nintendo was also not a thing anymore, I don't think. But yeah, characters and monster drawn by Akira Toriyama, famous for Dragon Ball, of course. Huge fan of there as well. No idea what the hell is wrong with this plastic. It's all fricked up. But yeah. Next one is another Pokemon game. Pokemon White 2. Honestly, did not play much of this. I don't know why. I kind of just started and then I kind of stopped. I think I kind of just tapped out on this series. After like Gen 4, I was like, and I'm not gonna say it's an age thing, because I mean I do see people older than me playing it, so I just I kind of just tapped out. But yeah, I mean also like the Black and White series are really expensive if you want to rebuy them on this physically. Yeah, but new character, the new starters, I just wasn't feeling it. So, yeah, again, good shape, no cracks. Yeah, like I forgot to mention that the US are black cases. Europe has clear cases, from what I can see. That's interesting. I'm not sure if there's a real reason for it. So good, bad type of scenario. So that's interesting. Next one is a licensed game, that being the Simpsons game. Actually, not terrible. I do also own this on 360, which I sort of mainly play games of this, well, games in general, for that generation, I suppose. But yeah, it's, you know, it's a licensed game and it's decent. You know, not bad at all. You can make decent licensed games that you don't they don't have to be terrible. So yeah, I mean, you see, this is like later generation, you know, black and white. Also maybe just EA being cheap, or Fox, or whoever we want. Now Disney, poop. Yeah, thoughts. Next one is the most obvious game that could probably be on there, that being Super Mario Brothers. New Super Mario Brothers, in fact. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people like this, you know, 2.5-ish D platformer. A lot of people like this. It's sort of like a, again, like if you have a DS, you probably want to use a Mario or a Zelda, or, you know, that kind of stuff. Because Nintendo kind of still owns this whole side of it. See, full color, early game, and Nintendo kind of just, yeah, no cracks, no heavy sun fading on the cover either. It's generally pretty solid. So that's pretty nice, sturdy. Like this is old. Like I have, like you probably saw on my previous video, I have all of my my GBA and GBC games in sort of plastic sort of cases to protect them. That is paper, you know. Yeah, terrible. This game, I mean, I'm sure everyone, if you bought a DS early on, you probably own this. Super Mario DS is very similar to Super Mario 64, just regularly on that system. This actually does look better than it did on the 64. Not by much, but it's noticeable. But yeah, I mean, it is that, with some tweaks, obviously, but and also a lot of the touch functions added, because this is a very early DS game, so this had to sort of showcase the new features of that system, the touch, the pen, all that kind of shit. But yeah, you know, you got your Mario, your Luigi, and your Yoshi, and your Star, and your Castle, and your everything that you've probably known to the series. Now, as I mentioned before, I am kind of a Dragon Ball fan. So you bet your ass I got Origins. Oh, and also Origins 2, and yeah, got both of them. Sort of the finale is on the Wii for some reason, but maybe I can just stop by, because I did very similar games. This being the first one, again, like sort of 3D characters on a 2D sort of space. I believe this is more what it is. Obviously, the Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z, not GT, not Super, not whatever, right? And they're very similar. There's some puzzles, there's some fighting, there's some platforming, you know. So they're very similar games, but using this is better. This is like, if you wanna just, guys, maybe for more than one thing, I guess the main thing for me is that this game is very heavily, like, you have to use the stylus and the touchscreen to do like fighting and platforming and all that kind of stuff. I use the stylus to use the staff and such. Like, you can do this on the Sequel 2, but you can also just use the buttons. So this is more sort of it kind of just, maybe that just shows that it was released a bit later. And sort of people sort of like forcing the new stuff wasn't as necessary for a lot of people. So maybe, you know. But yeah, like always, complete cartridge, manual, no scratch, no nicks, no crazy sun faded stuff either. I hate the mix. So that's one thing that kind of annoys me about like the European copies. Like, I was lucky about this here locally, maybe, but he has English and German, right? Because like this whole thing can just be gone, and then like all English. But you know, that's one of the things I kind of envy people living in the US, because the stuff is just in English, period. Like Canada's got the French thing, and all that, which I understand, but bruh, that is just aesthetically just too much. The copy work here is just too much, in my opinion. But yeah, like recommended, highly recommended if you own a DS, like, or a 3DS, you can play it and blah blah. You know. And the last and not least, Final Fantasy 4, I think. The Roman numerals almost always throw me off. I actually didn't play this a lot. I did play this a bit though, but again, like fundamentally, turn-based combat isn't really my thing. You really have to sell me on something for me to sort of accept that. And but yeah, like it's perfectly fine. So full colored manual. Such a nice thing to see because you don't see it anymore. Because manuals period you don't see it, but. Yeah, that's cartridge. Yeah, this was bought used, so I bought it. You know, it's in decent shape. You know, no cracks, no nothing. Yeah, and they're good. They're well built. They are well built cases, but like a few times I went to GameStop and similar places, the boxes were cracked and like massive stickers everywhere, and just yeah. Gonna pause this because I gotta rearrange some stuff. And we're back. Yeah, the next stack is of course the 3DS. Even though like you can of course play both games on the system, so that's probably why I kind of put it in the same area. But it is noticeably sort of the formats and what have you. Anywho, Luigi's Mansion 2. I do own the first one on GameCube. I did beat it, I believe, quite a while ago. But yeah, this is like whoever thought this would come back. In like any sense, right? Of course, aren't they on 3 on Switch now? I don't own that. Maybe I will in the future. But yeah, I love it. It does feel like a handheld version though, like smaller worlds and doesn't look as good. A lot of jaggies and such, but like it's really fun. Good, yeah. And yeah, now you get sort of the new format, which I think is more similar, sort of universally with like the regions. Look at this full color manual for the 3DS. Yeah, Nintendo spent the money. I'll say you lost the GBA slot for the card for the boxes. That's kind of a shame. But then they're good. You know, the spine also like it has sort of a small sort of picture of the game, so it's easier to maybe to recognize on the shelf. But yeah, like yeah. And the new network, which I do believe that's the newer one. That's sort of, yeah, I bought in Europe, of course, as I am technically European. There, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, the 3DS version. And we're back to black and white, because Capcom is, you know, yeah. And there also has this like grayish color through the cartridge. But I do play it a bit, I think. The one on the Wii U, I think that's the one that's basically the same one, just better. And of course the one that's on sort of all the newer platforms recently is a very good sort of like entry point for the new fans as well. But you know, you kill monsters and you take their parts and you make armor weapons and such. So that's kind of cool. But it's like I always found the control methods in this game to be kind of weird. Like it's very sort of you have to sort of rework your brain, sort of the way it works, so the combat and the crafting and everything like that. Because like it's very different from like I don't know Skyrim or some shit like that. Right? It's all like Bethesda makes their controls one way, and then you have like a lot of Japanese companies another way, and yeah. Anyway, next one, the game that I bought my 3DS with. Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D, which is, I mean, yeah, this is the original case of 2 as well. Because I have seen some of the later cover arts, which honestly I kind of glad I had this one. This was bought on launch day, by the way, as well, so it wasn't. That's how long I had it. Yeah, original 3D stuff. Like that wasn't particularly great, but yeah. Same situation. Got your good show. See that? Yeah, full color manual. Love seeing that. So pretty, especially for collectors later. Yeah, good, solid, like, yeah. But this obviously, like, if you want to play Ocarina of Time, like today, there's really no better way to do it than this. I don't get an emulator or for like the original N64 game. Just get this one if you can, because this is like, yeah, this is probably the best it's gonna look. Assuming they don't put it on like Switch or something later, which is not entirely out of the question. But because you know, it's a big title and it's a big game. Nintendo less money, just like everyone else. So yeah, you know, more Nintendo. Super Mario 3D Land. This was sort of also the Mario game for this for the system, at least early days. Actually, pretty good, I think. I didn't play this as much as I sort of hoped I would. But yeah, it's actually, you know, it's like it's Mario. Do you like Mario? Sure. Yeah. I had a black one, I think. Hehe. Yeah. Mario. Yeah, this also is a. Is this? I'm not sure. Where I bought this? Quite a while ago, obviously. But yeah. Harvest Moon, Tale of Two Towns. I do actually like the sort of the farming livestock manager sims. I do actually. I didn't play this as much as I thought I would. Same, right? Because like, I mean, I don't know if this is like a good sort of representation of the Harvest Moon series. Like, is this sort of like the good one, or should you play like a later one or an early one or whatever, right? Obviously, these days, you know, it's all about the Stardew Valley, man. I have unholy amounts of hours in that game, so. But yeah. There are a lot of dimensions. This was, I mean, it's the way, right? On a handheld. So, but it's, again, it's solid. It works, like it's a fighting game. Like, it might be a bit limiting versus like the actual like console releases and such, but like it's not bad at all. It's fun. And funny enough, this game was actually banned in at least parts of Europe for a while. And then they kind of, I don't know what happened. Like because I do remember reading it. Like the way dimensions banned in Europe, or at least in Scandinavia for sure, because of some. I don't know, technicalities or just some questionable decisions. Obviously, like some of the characters in this game are, you know, below a certain age, and some you can argue that they are a bit over sexualized, and then that kind of clicks in. So the can't do that stuff, sir. So this was banned, but I bought this in the store. Like this wasn't like some hidden eBay dark web shit either. This was like regular. So I don't know if they wasn't particularly well enforced or something. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, you know, you can have that argument all you want. But yeah, it's fun. Like it's fun. It's a bit unfortunate. Like the series is kind of falling behind a bit. Unfortunately, like it's pretty sad. This is really dusty too for some reason. Yeah, for sure. I think they've just played too heavily on like the you know the somewhat over sexualized characters and like the boob physics and all that kind of stuff. They kind of play too heavily on that in the marketing. So like the perception, it's completely like earned for them. So that's kind of on them. But the games are solid. That's kind of the problem with it. Like the games are really good. Just they're known for like all the other stuff. So it's just, you know, sad, really. Next one is Kingdom Hearts. Dream Drop Distance. Goddamn screenings and their weird titles. When did I buy this? Oh, years ago. Years and years and years ago. Do I like Kingdom Hearts? Sure. I am a hardcore fan? No. I like it. So I'm sort of more on the casual side of it. You know, full color. Like this whole thing was just weird. It has some sort of Pokemon stuff in it, which is, I don't know, didn't gel with me. But yeah, it's really sort of out there and in typical Square Enix fashion. It's very sort of, I don't know what we call it, melodramatic, very artsy, very sort of like, I don't know. I think, you know, if you've played any like Final Fantasy game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, obviously the partnership with Disney is kind of a legendary thing. They have been doing it for quite a while now. Which is kind of like, I mean, having another company using Disney characters and worlds and stuff is kind of a, you don't see that too often. They are so protective over their IP, so this Kingdom Hearts, like it or not, like this is special. So, yeah. Next one is another Pokemon game. Because it's the Nintendo console and it's gotta be just a few. it's in the contract. This being a proper remake of Pokemon Sapphire. I do own that game actually on GBA. Just don't have it complete. And because this is sort of like the better version, I don't think I'm really using it anymore anyway. So yeah, you know, proper blue case, like very sort of, you know, very good branding, I would say. You know, blue sort of aqua sort of title and everything like that. Like it's sort of like it's the, yeah, this actually is in the this is the system. Don't worry about this. This actually doesn't work in my region, so this is just trash for me, unfortunately. But yeah, like the cartridge I think is black, so, which is, you don't see that too often. But yeah, I mean, is this my favorite generation? No, I think my favorite generation might be 2. But this is like so solid because this is like, because that game, the Game Boy game had some flaws, right? I mean, stuff like, I mean, just off the top of my head, like you can't, just by playing the story, you won't get your rival's sort of final evolution for your decks, which is ridiculous, right? But in here, you get one last fight with him or her, depending on which you chose, where she would use like her shit, if I can remember now. Right? Sceptile, Blaziken, and fuck, what's his name? I had him. She's Swampert, right? And that will always be on after the second tier. But here you get that one last fight, and to get that complete, because that would just bothered me so much. If I didn't have people to play with, I wouldn't have gotten it. Obviously later I do. That's cool. But yeah, like it's awesome. This is such a good remake. Like, you know, obviously made in the engine of X and Y. Spoilers. So yeah, highly recommended. This or Omega Ruby. You know, the game has stuff that you didn't really see. Like Dive never came back, as far as I know. That's sort of the hidden HM, right? Hidden move, hidden machine, whatever fuck. Yeah. So now, so Pokemon Y, like this, obviously this is the engine that used to make this thing, and I wasn't digging this game, to be honest with you. This is like I said, like I kind of fell off around this time. Like this, my heart just wasn't in it anymore. Like I wasn't feeling these new guys, and I had this weird like. In my head, I was like, new generation, I was to use only new Pokemon. That's how I would do it. Even though that's probably stupid, but just my head, right? Just a new starter, I would get a new flying type, I would get a new whatever, right? Whatever would make sense. I would always do this. Granted, if I get a Pidgey, I would get a Pidgey. So that was the exception, because even to like, yeah. Pidgeotto was my favorite, and when I was a kid, that never changed. Very underrepresented, underrated, undervalued, for this whole franchise. And the new stuff, like I'm not getting into the Switch stuff because no, just I'm out. You know, just again, I'm not shitting on if you're like 35, 40 playing Pokemon. By all means, don't go nuts. I'm never gonna hate on it. It's just not for me anymore. Like I'm tapping out. Just I'm out. You know. Yeah, I think I chose the grass type. I think. turned into some kind of armadillo porcupine thing, which is weird. More remasters. Dragon Quest 7. Another remaster. And again, like, I mean, the Dragon Ball, the Toriyama art is like crack. Honestly, man, I love that shit. It's so weird. The way his style is like noticeable, like this. Like you can always see it. This could be Goku if you didn't look closely, right? So yeah, that's really weird. But like I love it. Oh yeah, this when the new 3DS came about. It's gonna be this whole thing. I do actually own this one with the faceplate. I understand that the regular one was a Europe only thing. Or at least the US didn't get the normal one. They only got the big one. Which is weird because we got all three of those. So I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, definitely like again like casual JRPG fan. So don't look to me for like any type of deep shit. Like so I'm sorry. You're not gonna get it. I'm sorry. But fun. I like the characters. So it has that adventure style. Yeah. Yeah, and all of these are proper good shape. There are no cracks, no like crazy fading on like the card fade on the art or anything like that. They're all. I do take care of my games. What can I say? Mine to dust. Next one is another one. That being The Sims 3. And naturally, like the PC game is obviously gonna be a lot better. Like it just is. Like more content, more everything gonna look better, and so on. This is obviously a handheld version of a big PC title. It's obviously also is on Xbox and PlayStation and whatnot as well. But like, I mean, so there's a limited, more sort of scaled down version, and as limited as it is, it's still way better than whatever the fuck the mobile games are. The free to play and mobile are garbage even compared to this. Like, this actually it's a proper game. There's now like 1.5 million microtransactions and just stupid shit. Like he's solid. Violence, sex, is arguable, but yeah, sure. Actually, not too bad. This was bot used though, so that's why it's just all kinds of fucked up in storage. Next, well, this is the last game. That being Donkey Kong Returns 3D. Again, like if you like Donkey Kong, like you get what you want here, man. Get exactly what you want. 2.5D 2D platformer in Donkey Kong. In true Donkey Kong fashion. But like the thing is, I'm not a crazy big Nintendo fan, so it's not like I bought a Switch to play Donkey Kong, to play DK, Zelda, and Mario, and Metroid and stuff. I'm kind of, but like, yeah. I'm rambling because it's not this video for sure is not scripted by any means. So this is purely like out of my ass as it is. Again, like the old com had a small picture there and the title, right? So they kind of look nice on the shelf there. The Switch stuff, man, they fucked that up. Like red and the white letter, you can't see shit from far away. It's just terrible. And the shit on the Xbox, like gray and white, but different standards, people. That's what I'm saying. Not salty at all, but yeah. How do you feel about the white the cases though? Do you miss the black if you're in the US? Like, do you miss the black casing for like the games? The white looks nice. Just gets dirty really easy, so that's just like everything else. But that's gonna have to be it for now. Wait a minute. Limb cut. But yeah, I didn't have anything. I was gonna do something else, but then you have to be on the time. I keep kicking my table. This is sort of like any extended thing. Unfortunately, that's on me. But yeah, like that was it. Like actually, I do have the yeah. Probably would have shown the systems too, but maybe that's for another time, perhaps, or not. We'll see. Thank you for watching, guys. If you did not, okay, I might be just talking to myself here. That's entirely possible. So, yeah. Did you get did you ever do you play the 3DS or the DS, or you use all Switch these days? Or are you like the hardest of the hardcore of Nintendo fans that just gotta play all that stuff all day, every day? I'm more of a casual fan, I think, but I do like collecting them as well. So, and now to get to DS and 3DS and stuff that has become more retro these days, which is kind of just a weird concept to think about. But yeah, that's that. See you later, guys.